All right, all right, all right. Shalom, shalom, and shalom, Sister Deborah. I'm not going to be with you long because I think this is a message that's strictly for the eye of the light, for the one that fully understands spirit and truth and have understanding in them. This is a very powerful message. And again, I'm going to give you the opportunity to slide out as you have slid in. It's best for you to slide out because this message is for individual who's under spirit and truth and have the light in their right hand. This message is going to be titled, It's the Power that they are denying. It is the power that has been denied. I learned that it is the power that people have denied. And they have set their own power in place. And the world believe their power over the power of all creation. I want to kind of say to you all, there is a time that I constantly keep hearing men teach the beginning, Genesis 1 and Genesis 2. And they teach it in a way that I think that is an error. And I think it's very disrespectful. Okay, so I'm going to just cover this, and I'm hoping that I'm going to be able to get through it, okay, and not have you long. I want to show you my, it's not the best drawing. This here is a yellow spirit. I call myself making this the spirit of Yah, which one would say the spirit of God. So this is the spirit of Yah here. You see right here, I got a thing here. It looks like the eye. So this is the spirit of Yah. And I want to first and foremost say this topic is about the disrespect for Yah's power. Okay. I'm going to title it, It's the Power They Disrespect. So I want you to go to Genesis chapter 1. We're going to go over 1, 2, and 3. But we're going to start with 1. In Genesis chapter 1, verse 1, in the beginning, Yah created the heavens and the earth. And the earth was without form and void. And the darkness was upon the face of the deep. And the spirit, there go the spirit of Yah, moved upon the face of the waters. So you know the face of the deep, okay? It was said, and the darkness was upon the face of the deep. So it was dark water and everything was dark. I want to explain to y'all why Yah wanted us to understand that everything was dark. Water was present, but everything was dark. Because when Yah present himself in his spirit form, which he is a spirit, everything that has any type of pin needle of light has to not exist because he is the light. Okay? His spirit is the brightest light. It even talk about how in the kingdom there will be no sun, no moon, no stars, no light. Because people do not understand the power of Yah being a spirit. He is the ultimate light. He don't need your light. He don't need nobody else's light. He is the whole light of his kingdom. So when he comes to the earth and it is dark and the water is dark and it's void with nothing on it, you're going to see his spirit gliding upon the deep of the water. Now, anytime Yah has to come down, and what do you mean, Deborah? Long as he's up here, it's okay. Long as he's at this level, it's okay. But if he has to come past this dome, which is the infirmity, if he has to come past this right here, all of this got to be shut off. What is this? The sun, the stars, and the moon. Why? All of the earth must be dark if he that is light come down. That's why when he began to create, it wasn't that dark was evil and wicked and destruction. All of y'all just lying. It wasn't hell. No, it wasn't. It wasn't the serpent, a place of the serpent. No, it was not. It was void. What part of that y'all don't understand? What part of that you all don't understand? It had no form and nor was it anything in it. It was void. Water and darkness. And he saw his spirit. Let's go there. So in verse 2 it says, and the earth was without form. Watch this here. And void. And the darkness was upon the face of the deep. And the spirit of Yah moved upon the face of the water. And this is him. Before there was any dome, before there was a sun, stars, moon, and anything else, before there was an firmament, it was Yah's spirit gliding upon the deep waters of darkness. They didn't put everything in that darkness that they should not have. This is why I say no one wants to respect the power out of the order in which he has created. We want to come after Yah every way possible that satisfy our flesh understanding. But when we can't get understanding, we make things to be what he didn't create it to be. And we don't have no problem with it. We don't have no problem with it. Because we tend to want the whole world to believe what we say it is. And the world go after what we say and don't seek what Yah say within them. Okay? So then in verse 3 it says, and Yah said. Now wait a minute, who are you saying this to? Here go the Father. Here go his spirit up here. This here is the spirit of Yah. Before the firmament, this dome was created. He said in verse 3, Genesis chapter 1 and verse 3, and Yah said, let. Something is going on. Because first he's saying something. Who's that? And then he said, let. As if he's saying something and expecting a result. He is. He's saying and speaking as he does all the time. Everything he created, he spoke it. How did he speak it? By his word. He spoke it by his word. He spoke it by his word. Because you notice in the beginning, it said here, the spirit of Yah. So this is the spirit of Yah. And there go the word spirit. Now the word is what he said. That was his word. And he's given an order to himself. And he's allowing his power to bring forth what his word spoke from his spirit. So this spirit is Yah's spirit. It is his word and his power. Okay? And in verse 3 it says, and Yah said, that's his word. Let power, let there be light. He's telling himself. He's not telling himself. He's speaking. Word and power. Power in word. And it's sad how you get all these unlearned people who say they learned, went to college, went to get they degree, they're scholars, they're scientists, and they still want to make that darkness something that it is not. And I'm going to show you why they're doing it. Because they don't have no respect for the power. They ain't letting him be the power. There he is, the word. And with him is the power. The power answer to the word. And the word answer to the power. Speaks to the power. They don't want him to be that. They want darkness and deepness to be evil and wicked and demonic and Satanism and all these creatures under there and the fallen angels, they wanted to be everything because they disrespect who he is. Why? They won't accept his power. His power is his authority. That's what rules, his power. And they don't want his rulership. Because then if they accept his rulership, they're going to have to accept his power. And if they accept his power, then they're going to have to understand that the book wasn't the word. Deborah, you going there? Yeah, again. So as I see in Genesis, he constantly uses his word. And in that process, in Genesis 3, he said, let. He's talking to his power to bring something forth. And his power is paying attention to what the word, which is Yah, say. And that's why he said in Genesis chapter 1 and verse 3, let. In Genesis chapter 1, verse 6, let. In Genesis chapter 1, verse 9, let. In Genesis chapter 1, verse 11, let. In Genesis chapter 1, verse 14, let. In Genesis chapter 1, verse 20, let. In Genesis chapter 1, verse 24, let. In Genesis chapter 1, verse 25, let. And what he is saying, let my power bring forth that which my word speaketh. And we disrespect his power because we did not want to even think that he had power detached to his word and that his word is not detached to his power. Because then we can't sling all these books we keep adding and taking away. We can't sling all these religions and these different denominations and these different interpretations. We can't sling the understanding our way. Now, out of the whole Genesis chapter 1, it was detached to his spirit, which spoke his word and brought forth through his word that he spoke. His power brought all things forth. What's wrong with us that we so sick and we don't understand that his word spoke and his power brought it forth? Now, I had an issue because the Father was showing me something here. Now, watch this here. When I got to Genesis 1, not Genesis, the Gospel of John, chapter 1. And this is what he showed me. He taught me. I'm going to tell you the truth. He taught me. In Genesis, in the book of the Gospel according to John, chapter 1, notice this mystery. In the beginning was the Word. Right then, he allowed you to understand this Word was present. Okay? And the Word, this Word again, was with the Spirit, which is Yah. Okay? And the Word was Yah. Yah was the Word, and the Word was Yah. And the same was in the beginning with Yah. Now, right then, he just explained to y'all that in the beginning, before heaven and earth was created, that Yah was the Word, Yah is the Word, and the Word was with him in the beginning. So if the Word is Yah and Yah is the Word, then what is the King James Bible? So he's telling you in the Gospel of John, chapter 1 and verse 1 and 2. In the beginning, before anything was created, the Word exists. And he's turning around and allowing you to understand it in your study guide. That the word was before your words in your book is. And then he began to show me something I never thought of. I'm telling you, he's been climbing on top of me, and that's all right with me. He said, look at that, what they were, look at that they put there. And I said, but Father, it seems like that should make them look really foolish. Guess what's there, y'all? In the Gospel of John, chapter 1, you see the word was. Was. And that's where he stopped me at. He said, how many times you done told them people? And until you know who he was, you don't know nothing about who he is. See how lost y'all are? Until you understand who he was, you will never understand who he is. I can sit here 20 million years explaining this over and over, and you will never get it. Because you never knew who he was. And if you look at the Gospel of John, chapter 1, you see the word was there. You see it? 4 times. And he says it's only there to back up the word, letting you all know in the spiritual realm, the word was before it is in your book. The word was with the Creator before the Creator created you and anything on the earth. The word was with him in the beginning. And then verse 2, and the same was, there go was again, in the beginning with Yah. What is it you don't understand? The word couldn't have been the book that been poured out 1948. It can't be the word. He is the word. And how y'all got away with it? All these maybe 20,000 years, you know how y'all got away with it? Denying the power. Did y'all know that's why we got different denomination, different belief, different interpretation, different religion? It's because you all have denied the power. Without the power, the world can teach you anything. What power is that? The power of Yah. So that's why they out here teaching you anything. That's why y'all believe everything that you see on these here websites and on this television, on this everything newspaper and everything you believe. Because none of it holds the power. And you believe everything that doesn't have the power to back it up and have the power to land it down. But you believe it. You know what that's called? My title. It's the power you disrespect. It's the power they disrespect. And then it says, watch this here. The Gospel of John, chapter 3. All things were made by the what? The Gospel of John, chapter 1. By the what? The Word. Look at it. Don't talk out. Verse 3. All things, the Gospel of John, chapter 1 and verse 3. All things were made by him. By who? By who? The Spirit of Yah. He made all things by his word, to his power, and his power by his word. That's why you're looking at the Gospel of John, chapter 1, telling you in the beginning was the Word. And you all have disrespected the whole idea that the Word that created all things listened, spoke, and his power brought everything that the Word that was in the beginning spoke. The power brought it forth. And then I'm sitting here looking at the Gospel of John, chapter 3, it tells you that. All things were made by him. Who? The Most High Yah. By his spirit, he created all things by his word, and his word spoke to his power, and his power brought what the word spoke to it out to exist in this word today. So it has always been, like Sister Deborah has said it, I used to call it dropping the ball. And I told y'all through all that time, they dropped the power. All that time I've been talking, the ball being dropped was always, the number one was power. They dropped the power. But what I understand today, it was a total disrespect. Even to this very day that we're in today. That's why the old heads can sit here and teach this and make the darkness demonic, evil, the lake of fire or the lake of hell or the bottomless pit. They make everything. And then when I went to look up the dome to draw my dome, underneath it, it's got the dragon and all this underneath the earth. You can't have what you want and put you what you want down here in hell. I mean, in the underneath the earth. How did they end up building a whole city? Pretty much, I think it should be probably more than that, because I think it says really deep. 15 foot down. You see how? If all is underneath the earth, that man has decided to think to make underneath the earth that he created all of this on is dragons and monsters and Satan and demons and darkness. You all got to understand the place of the lake of fire is not for you to be able to know what's in it, what it looked like, what's going on. It only can be what he said that it is. And who is he? The word. You ain't nobody. Y'all need to stop that old clown mess. Everybody want to teach this thing out of the order of being disrespect. Because when y'all do that, y'all take the power away from who he is. And that's a sad thing, because when that time comes and everybody gonna be hooping and hollering looking for him, you ain't gonna find him. And I don't blame him. I don't blame him. So here it is. Now we have the dome. We have the dome here. Okay. And what the dome represent is showing you how we're in here. The world is in here. Yah is all up here. So you ain't got no aliens and no all this mess that they think that's up here. This is what the CERN is for. They want to be able to crack past here. They think that, hey, if we can just get in between. Oh, we need to try to zoom past that. See, a lot of y'all too ignorant to comprehend stuff like that. But that's really what it's about. They're trying to bust through here. Can they do it now? They can't do it. Their power didn't put them here, and their power can't take them out of here. Check. That's what you call bringing that power and giving it back to my Most High where it belongs. I ain't giving you all no rope to make them lies clear. You go on and hang yourself, because I ain't gonna give nobody no rope to make y'all think that bull crap that y'all teaching in this world is legit. You have no power to go between this here realm. And they thinking, a lot of y'all don't understand. Their realm is let me show you what I'm saying. When y'all sit and watch them talk about space and going up in space, they just going up here. They going up in here. Why? Because they still trying to find a way through here, through the dome. And that's what the purpose of their CERN is. They thinking that CERN is going to be able to bust through here. That's all it's for, is to see if they can crack through here. But they don't understand where you at is where you're going to be. Until his word speaks his power, and his power back that word up. You can sit your tail down. You ain't got nothing coming. See, I know about that word and that power and that power and that word. I leave it with him. He is the word. He is the power. Ain't no book on this earth, his word. He is his own word. He told you, I was in the beginning, Deborah. I told them that, but they still don't get it. Because you rather believe the lie from man than believe the truth of the creator. And he don't have no problem with that. That's why there's an end. So I want to explain to y'all the reason why I explained to y'all that when we talk about the beginning, we fail to understand what the beginning is. And if you don't understand really what the beginning is, you don't know what the end is. I know. You believe the lie, the deception, the strong delusion. The end and the beginning, it's like two pair of shoes you put on. It's like living and dying. Everybody was born, is going to die. It's things that we all fail to accept that plays two roles. That's how the beginning and the end is. The beginning gave y'all all of this beautiful stuff. And y'all too evil to give him the glory for it. Y'all rather sit down on this earth and bleed the flesh of men to give him the glory for everything he has given and has done. He has given us everything here. He's given us the sun, the moon, and the stars. He's given us everything we have. And we still disrespect him and his power. We disrespect his word and his power, and his power and his word. Because we don't want to give that to him. We want darkness to have it. So they can give it to you the way that they want to give it to you. And that's the way people are. They just want to see it coming from the dark end. So what has happened is, because they want to make Genesis 1, verse 1 and 2, they want to make it out of something that is darkness as evil. And they shouldn't do that. They shouldn't do that. Because what I'm going to explain to you is this. Let me go into Joel. I'm going to show y'all where most of 99 point trillion, again, I'm stepping into that spirit realm, people are wrong. In Joel, chapter 2, I'm going to give you a little something of how you will know how this Yah rumbles. Now, we have a dome over us. Trump and all the elites in the world can't get past that dome, even though they try. Oh, they might get up close to the sun, close to the stars, close to the moon, but that's it. That's why they up in space trying to see a way they can get past this. And you all don't know, and you all have no idea. That's what the CERN is, trying to bust through here. They trying to see if they can get past here. They already went down below the earth, saw that they could successfully build a whole world down there. Now they feel in them, and this don't start today. This been happening as long as 100 years, trying to find a way we can bust through this dome. They can't. Okay. So I want to show you something in Joel chapter 2 and verse 1. Blow ye the trumpet in Zion, and sound an alarm in my holy mountain. Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble, for the day of Yah cometh forth. For the day of Yah cometh, for it is nigh at hand. Verse 2. A day of darkness and of gloominess, a day of clouds and thick darkness, as the morning spread upon the mountains. A great people and a strong. There has not been ever the like, neither shall be any more after it. even to the years of many generations. Now, when you get there, I want you to go to verse 10. In verse 10, this we still in Joel chapter 2 and verse 10. The earth shall quake before them, the heavens shall tremble, the sun and the moon shall be darkened, and the stars shall withdraw their light. Why? Why? Why must the sun give up its thunder? Why must the moon give up its thunder? Why must the stars give it its thunder? Because he that holds on in the kingdom of the earth is coming. What do you mean? It's coming. He's coming through here to throw down. This is where he's going to be destroying the world. The terrible day of Yah. This is where you're going to have all the whole world full, all the countries and all of them going to be together in a lot of different times. I see him coming more than once. And he's throwing down. He's coming through here, y'all, the dome. But when he comes, the stars already know you got to fall down. The moon already know you better get down. The sun know it's got to vanish. Why? Because the light of the Creator has entered the zone under the dome. This is why in the beginning there was darkness upon the deep, and there was no form upon the water. The water was present, but it was darkness, no form, and void. Because when this one show up, there can't be a pin needle of light. It's not because it's evil and it's darkness mean. It's not because Satan got a dominion down there. It's hell. It's not because dragons down there and all this stuff man done made up. It's because when the light of the world pull up, the sun got to disappear. The moon got to disappear. The stars disappear. Because only thing that's going to glow is Yah. A lot of you all don't look at his power like that, but that's the way it is. You can go and watch all these movies that they show you, these Satanism and demon and all the power movies that they can show you all, and you will never get it right. They showing you. Because he is all that he said he is, and he don't have to prove it to you. I'm so grateful for that. You ain't nobody. He don't have to prove nothing to you. You ain't nobody. That's what a lot of people don't understand. So here, when I get to Joel chapter 30 and 31, Joel, same chapter 2, verse 30 and 31. And what does it say there, Deborah? It says, and also upon the servants and upon, 32. Joel chapter 2, verse 30 and 31. I guess that's it. No, 30. It's chapter 30. It's verse 30 and 31. Now listen to this. And I will show wonders in the heavens and in the earth. I'm coming for you. And fire and pillars of smoke in the earth and in the heavens above the earth. But what's gone? The sun, the moon, the stars. They out of whack. They gone. Why? It's called the terrible day of Yah. He's coming twice. You see? They already know. He created them. They know they can't share his thunder. So what do? They get out the way. But y'all tails run around here, ain't worried about him coming. You ain't afraid of him. You ain't scared. Why? Because you disrespect his power all the way up until the day he gonna come. And you're gonna see what it's worth. So while you talking about the end, You better watch yourself because you don't know what the end is. It's the terrible day of Yah, where his wrath, listen to what it says in verse 30, Joel chapter 2, verse 30. And I will show wonders in the heavens and in the earth, blood and fire and pillar of smoke. Verse 31, the sun shall be turned into darkness. Oh, and the moon into blood before the great and terrible day of Yah come. Don't mess with him. You're messing with power. And it's not the power that you're used to seeing and thinking and feeling. This is the power of he that created the heavens and the earth and the fullness thereof. While we walking around here thinking we rule. But I do see how the people have a mindset of having the same power that Satan and those who represent Satan and those who are around the world, these elites who are out to make sure that everybody lose their power unto them. People are acting just like that. They want this level of power. They don't know you're acting like the darkness that want all power of all the people on the earth. Because somewhere along the line, people are feeling really good about having power and authority. That it's just something about them. And I know what it is. It's a spirit. It's a dark spirit. Because they only can see things in a way that they see it. You see, they don't see things in a way that it should be seen. They see it in a way that they have power and control over it. I see it all over the world, all over. And they can't teach, they can't preach, they can't minister. They tell you we're the chosen, we're the this, or they'll tell you about Yah, they'll teach Yah, they'll say everything they want to say. But they'll do it out of their own power of themselves. Because their own power wants their own understanding, their own interpretation, their own feelings, their own wisdom, their own knowledge. And they winning many by just that. So when I get to Joel chapter 3 and verse 15, when I get to Joel again, chapter 3 and verse 15, this prophet is warning Sister Deborah that when Yah come, this is a terrible day. And you think this world give a rest behind? Guess who only afraid? The elites, the one that got y'all in their hand. They power over you all. They're afraid. Guess who's afraid? But you all, you ain't afraid. You're doing everything they tell you to do, which is wicked and evil, and you're not even afraid of this terrible day of Yah. But they are. That's why you think that they preparing everything. They are preparing because they know that this is no play. That's the only thing they fear. They don't fear you. They don't fear killing you. They'll kill you at a blink of an eye. By millions, they'll kill you. They're not afraid of that. They ain't afraid of destroying nothing on the earth. Not even the human beings. They're afraid of Yah. And that's what they are preparing for. While you are walking around like you are mini-me's of them. That's why I say no one can talk about Epstein and all this wicked and evil going on because all of them are doing it. They all are doing it. And they have made it right in their own eyesight. And they pointing fingers at others out of the way that they are living right here today and walking therein, the wicked and evil. So here in Joel chapter 3 and verse 15, it says, the sun and the moon shall be darkened and the stars shall withdraw their shine. Why? Because when Yah come through here, there better not be a lick of light on. So you run y'all dumb tails around talking about 3 days of darkness. You better hope you up out of here by then. Because this day here, if the sun know how to take off and run, the moon know how to take off and run, and the stars know how to take off and run, because the light of the Creator is coming down to the earth, and you standing around your stupid tail around like you ain't got a fear in the world, when you will have, because he's coming to destroy. So when they run their tails around and talk about in Genesis chapter 1 and 2 and 3, it was about that darkness was evil and wicked. Use a fool, use a fool, use a fool. That darkness is dark because of the fact that he that is light, they cannot, no other light can exist. It has to be darkness. When he created the world, it had to be darkness. Because he himself is all power. He's the word and he's a spirit. There should never be nothing but darkness when he's present. Y'all get it? But they don't understand that. They want to make it look like, well, that's how the demons and devils and all came in the beginning. They was here in the beginning. You was alive from the pit of hell. That was the will and the work of Yah, to want us to understand. Nobody shares any light. Everything has to be dark. So you will know everything came from his mighty right hand, his power. Out of all the dark that was present, he brought forth all things. And it wasn't because it was dark, meaning bad and evil and wicked and Satan and demonic and hell and all that these men be teaching. So then I get to Amos, and Amos said the same thing. In Amos, and I'm like saying to the Father, why are all these prophets warning us, but you don't hear nobody teaching it? You know why? Because y'all have no respect for his power. It's going to take his power to do all this. Who you think running from him? What you think they running from? You think they running from his spirit? They running from that power, y'all stupid people. I know you ain't afraid of his power. There's no fear of him in you. You're afraid of these people in this world more than you're afraid of Yah. But the sun, the moon, and the stars got sense enough to be afraid of he that created them. They getting out the way. He coming? Let us go. They know how to get out the way. But y'all think he's a play toy because y'all have no respect for his power. So here in Amos, and all the prophets is talking about it, because I'm going to show you Jeremiah, Ezekiel, Matthew, Acts, Isaiah. And I'm like saying, well, why don't you warning us about your power and how the light is going to get up. The light's going to be running from you. Moon, stars, and the sun, they're going to be running from you. Your presence coming. But man going to be standing back tough and bad. That's the spirit of you all. That's what he mean. They deny the power because y'all think you are the power. That's why these elites got y'all tail tore up from the floor. And you ain't seen nothing because they ain't finished with you yet. It's because y'all love that type of way of understanding stuff. But you don't want to understand things that fall under the protocol of what spirit and truth and the light is, which is the righteous things to understand. You all don't want no part of that. So in Amos chapter 5 and verse 18, I thought this was deep. Woe unto you that desire the day of Yah. To what end it for you? Let's go back over there. So it's talking to you as a human. That's why I was trying to say to y'all, y'all take this stuff lightly because you think he ain't worth a dime. You think his power don't mean nothing. You stupid, ignorant fools. Who you think created you? Out of that same power. He said the creatures, they would rather worship the creature than the creator. 100. I'm a living witness, Father, here on the earth. That's the mindset of the people. Now listen to this. Amos chapter 5, verse 18. Woe unto you that desire the day of Yah. To what end is it for you? What end is it for you? The day of Yah. Watch this here. The day of Yah is darkness and not light. You hear that? The day of Yah is darkness and it's not light. He ain't coming down here to play with you. When he has to go beyond, when he has to step to the rim of this earth, it's on. You in trouble. And that's why it's asking you the question. It's asking you the question right here. To what end is it for you? If he has to come from here to the earth, what end is it for you? I know it. They ain't going to teach y'all that. They ain't going to teach y'all to repent and be ready Find yourself in a place where you have searched him and he has searched you and search your spirit and abide in your spirit. You think people are going to be doing that? No. This is the terrible day of Yah. And many is going to be in this day. When Yeshua take those up, there's going to be many left behind. That's why it's called the rapture. It's not rapturing up everybody. It's only taking those who fall under the protocol when they were sent down to represent or to follow behind Yeshua HaMashiach. And when he get them up there, 90% of them going to the lake of hell because they came down here to walk and be the footprints of him. But they going back heading to the lake of fire. And they calling it a rapture because all of them going up. You see, but they the one that came down supposed to represent him, but they going up a different way. That's where all the parables was warning you all about, and y'all didn't get it. And it says here, where am I at? Amos, verse 19, as if a man did flee from a lion and a bear met him, or went into the house and leaned his hand on the wall and a serpent bit it. So he's actually telling you that when Yah is coming, okay, it ain't no playtime. It ain't no playtime. As if a man did flee from a lion and you run into a bear. You're leaving one situation, run into a worse one. That's what it's trying to tell you. When you think that this don't mean nothing, that the day of Yah and all of this gonna give up its thunder and take off and run, because Yah is coming, and you standing around like you ain't got a care in the world and you don't care. Ain't nothing gonna happen to me. Ain't nobody gonna do nothing. Baby, many are gonna be here that day. Many are gonna be here that very same day. Now listen to what verse 20 says. Amos chapter 5 and verse 20. Shall not the day of Yah be darkness and not light, even very dark and no brightness in it? You see? Because when Yah has to step to this level, y'all, you ain't gonna be able to see. He's the only one you're gonna see. And he already warned you. He ain't coming to play with you. He's coming with wrath. You think people care? No, they don't. Now, my ideal is not to teach so you can care. No, that's not what I'm teaching. What I'm trying to say to you all, they have lied about the darkness of Yah. The darkness represent evil and wicked when it come down to darkness. No. Yah only show up when everything fall down. Let me say that again. Yah only pull up. His presence of his spirit is when everything is bowed down. Why? Because he created everything. Everything's supposed to fall when he come in. When he approach, he step in, everything must fall down. Because he's coming with fierce anger, fire, wrath. So he ain't coming down here to play patty cake, bake their man with you all. Okay? So let me see what time I got here. Through all my verses, it talks about how darkness is going to be present during the time of Yah work. When you say God and Magog, same thing. Every time Yah come down to destroy this earth, and he's coming more than once, he's coming, and the sign of everything that he created is going to move out his way. Let me give you a little something. Let's go to Revelation chapter 21. Just because flesh of men and women don't have the respect for that power of who Yah is, everything else that he created has. Okay? Y'all ain't nobody. He already got you signed in and signed out. So he already know who you are. So you ain't fooling him. You can be down here fooling everybody else, but not him. But let me give y'all a little an idea of how everything flee when they see him. How and why the sun and the moon and the stars getting out the way. And y'all sitting out to us right here today, thinking you know him enough to know to play hypocrite or to play that game of cunning and manipulating and deceitful. Now listen to this. In Revelation chapter 20, verse 11, this is John in the vision. He's telling you what he saw. Revelation chapter 20 and verse 11. And this is another example of how you all have to disrespect his power. But everything else he created know how to get out the way. Watch this. Verse 11, Revelation chapter 20, verse 11. And I saw a great white throne, okay? And him that sat on it, he sat on it, whose face the earth and the heaven fled away. And there was found no place for them. What happened? They took one look at he that was on that throne. Who? Heavens and the earth. And they took off running, never to be seen again. Because you think that ain't no power right there. You really think that the heavens and the earth are going to take off running from the Father that sits on the throne for no reason and never be seen again. It's not giving you a warning of his power, who he represents, what he represents. When I look into Amos, let me get another. Where's my verses? Oh, there it is. Oh no, that ain't it. Oh, where's all my all my verses was telling you about the power of Yah's presence when it comes. When it comes, you think you feel you ain't afraid of it now. Or you don't bother me. He got me. He this and that. That's how all those ones that fall under the parables, like unto the kingdom, they fell under the parables. The parables were for me. It was for those who hold the keys to the kingdom to understand. There's going to be many people that's supposed to come down here and represent Yah, but they ain't going back to the kingdom. They going to the lake of fire. I had no idea of that. It keeps me making things. It keeps me in line with what I see. I look at everything and I see how people conduct themselves and how people are. All on the devil platform, everywhere. I'm sitting back and I'm watching everything saying, surely they can't manipulate you, Father. Surely they can't be representing you. Surely they can be your child. Surely they can't be your sons. And the Father gave me the best lesson today is to show. See? All them times you knew the parables, devil. All that time you had the keys to the kingdom. Always be ready to hear the next level. And I'm so grateful for it. Because I had no idea. I sit back and I watch how people play the role as representing the Creator. And I'm like saying to the Father, how long are they going to play that role? He said until they realize that it only favored them. Because that's what people do. They ain't worried about being right with Yah. They ain't worried about being in the righteous will or being in the light or speaking spirit and truth. That's why they come and go. They ain't worried about it. They think this is a game. But it is a game. It was a game to the individual that had that one talent. He took it and hid it in the earth. Why is the Creator going to assign you to be his servant and give you that one talent? For not only did you not serve him, you hid the good that he gave you. Why would he send 10 virgins down here to the earth, having everything equal, except for coming back? He's sending a sign. Just because they come down here, Deborah, supposed to represent me, don't mean they coming back as mine. That's a message inside of a message. So y'all gonna play with yourself and think that we are in a time, in a season for you to represent that you something that you are not. No way, Jose. He's going to allow you the kingdom like you have played in the earth. He's not going to allow it. And another thing I want to tell y'all, ain't nothing you got on this earth you're going to be able to take with you. So if you are not as wise as the spirit of Yah's wisdom, you're not as knowledgeable as the knowledge of Yah's wisdom, and you wise and knowledgeable in the world, go on. Shoot your best shot with your wisdom and your knowledge. Because the way he's allowing the world, anytime they can sit and try to build something to bypass the dome, they got you all set. They got plans for you already. Why you say that, Deborah? Y'all, these people didn't went up here to the creation of Yah. They can't reach all the way to the sun. You see? They can't reach all the way to the stars. But they shooting their best shot. And discern was something that you're supposed to be able to penetrate. A lot of people don't know it. Even the scholars and the scientists, they all in it, but don't know that's what they're trying to do. They might know. Let me not say they don't know. Everything people are doing on this earth is against the power of God. And yes, that's what you do too. You are the mini-me of the wicked and evil on this earth. You are the mini-me of the wicked and evil on this earth. And those that, now this is what I found out, y'all. I found out that Yeshua is coming for those who came down here, supposed to be the mission. And when he take them back, read it. It's telling you. When he take them back, he's taking them back to separate them. How deep the separation is, and this is my question to the Holy Spirit, was, Father, that's deep. Because from what I see, he's coming, and it said one will be left and one will be taken. One will be left and one will be taken. Well, who is that left? And who is that taken? So those that he's taking, he's still going to be dividing them. Oh, Deborah, you know you didn't hit the wrong one. You see? Even if he don't take the one he's not taking is the serpent seed. He's taking the one that came down to represent the spiritual seed. But when they go back to the kingdom, he's going to divide them into the goat and the sheep. See, the Yeshua coming and Messiah coming with. Muhammad coming with. So he's going to sit there and divide the two. But who is this he left down there? When he took one, he left one. He left those who worship the serpent seed. So you see how many people are going to get left? All the serpent seeds that came from the kingdom. All nations, even among Judah and Israel, going to be left. Now he's going to take Judah and Israel over to Zion. But Israel and Judah still going to be left down here. They are the serpent seed that represent the serpent seed. But they are the seed of Jacob that is not the spiritual seed. You get it? I'm telling y'all, it's deep. The way the Father taught me that today, I said it is deeper than deep, Father, just like you said. Because while people thinking they just in there and they all this and they all that, that's, you know, I try to figure out why ain't nobody trying to worship him? Why ain't nobody trying to magnify him? Why ain't nobody standing on right and wrong? Why ain't nobody doing that? Why ain't nobody trying to find a balance in righteous? Why ain't nobody trying to find the balance of unjust? Why ain't nobody trying to do good? What is going on? Because the good, they're supposed to be down here doing good. They got down here and continue to do bad. So when Yeshua come, you were supposed to come down here 10 virgins, but only 5 of them going to be on the kingdom. One gonna be, they're gonna be separated. Only the other ones were supposed to come down, but they did evil instead of representing Yeshua, Hamashiach. Instead of being in the body of Hamashiach, representing the body of Hamashiach, they got down here pretending and playing, thinking they can fool the world. Truly, I can fool. I can make it back to the kingdom. What I'm doing, I can be cunning. I can be crafty. I can be a hypocrite. I can be all that down here, and surely I'll make it in. That is exactly how the sower sowed the seeds. And they were fine with the word until all these things came up and they went away from it. That's how the one with the one talent, he was a servant until he decided to take the good that Yah gave him and he went into darkness with it. Y'all don't know what y'all dealing with. And I, Sister Deborah, say unto you all, I hope you got something out of it, but you know what? Even if you didn't, it's all right with me. And I give the Most High all praise and all glory and I thank him for himself. Shalom and shalom.